It's your boy, Coach Defense here. Thanking you for supporting the channel. Become a Lockdown Defender by hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you're enjoying your time, hit that like button. Help us grow in the community. Now, check out our latest video. Leave a comment. And as always, you got to step up to lock it down. The Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans finished 6-11 last year. And a lot of changes going on in Tennessee. They let Mike Vrabel go, which I'm still tight about. But you know, again, that whole idea of them letting him go and why is, I'll get into that. But they went out and made some moves. No more Ryan Tannehill, no more Derrick Henry. Sean Murphy Bunting, who came over just a year ago, is now gone. But it did went out and replaced Derrick Henry with Tony Pollard. I'm not sure if that's an upgrade. I think it's a downgrade, but that's just me. But it did steal Calvin Ridley from the Jaguars, so he's there along with DeAndre Hopkins, and he also traded for L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs. So, you know, from a free agency perspective, I think they did pretty well. I think if you had to measure it up, like if I can get a number one corner, number one receiver, and a solid back, and I lose my starting quarterback who's on his way out the door anyway, and my running back, I would say it's I won't call it a push. I would say it's a slight net gain. Okay, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out on the field, obviously. But I think it's a small net gain. Yeah, in Tennessee from a free agency perspective. And they went out and helped out their rookie quarterback, well, not rookie, but their second-year quarterback, and Will Levis, and went out and got the mammoth of a man, J.C. Latham, at tackle from Alabama. So they did pretty well for their first-round pick. But, you know, from your perspective, what do you feel like, you know, what feeling did they give you as a team and what they did in free agency in the draft? Trades as well, because they got L'Jarius Sneed in trade.
They made me feel like, what's the word? I was very unsettled.
Okay.
Couldn't get settled with the situation because you look at what they allowed to leave, right? And they had somebody in the backfield who I think was the engine to this team. And so they let him walk. But then they also let the other most important piece walk, which was Mike Vrabel. And so it was crazy to hear that the reason and we talked about this,
you did.
He had a fireable presence, which I have no idea what that means. But somehow, some way, people in Texas.
I don't like your face.
I don't like when you walk in, right? You have people that like you and they smile when they see you, and then when you walk past them, they frown up. I don't like your face. Yeah. But yeah, I think that is going to be hurtful. Now I will give them credit. They signed two dynamos in Calvin Ridley and L'Jarius Sneed, who L'Jarius came off. You know, if you're going to take advantage of anything, now's the time, because everybody's, you know, in a moment with the Olympics. So, you know, if you're going to take advantage of anything, of any situation right now, now's the time. But I don't think Calvin and L'Jarius are enough to overcome Vrabel being gone and Derrick Henry.
I agree with that. If you're gonna put Vrabel in the mix as losses, you know, not just players but the coaches as well, I do think it's a net loss in that regard. Yes. I agree with that. Okay. Well, for me, you know, again, when it comes to the Titans, I'm just gonna be honest. I had way more questions than I have answers. Like I said, they let Mike Vrabel go, you know, because he was an opposing to be around. I'm trying not to laugh too hard when I say that.
Man, look, that's crazy to say.
It is.
Your aura is so powerful that it can't be in the building, so I got to get rid of you.
Right. Okay. So I concluded that was just an excuse, a lame one at that, to get rid of him. But I digress.
Yeah.
Bringing a new coach, Brian Callahan, which again he needed to get his shot at some point. He's been playing, really good OC in Cincy. He's been really good OC. So at some point, you need to get a shot. I get it. Do you back up the Brees truck of Calvin Ridley, but you let Derrick Henry walk to Baltimore? So I feel like you started from ground zero. But unlike the Jags, I can at least see what they're trying to do, at least defensively.
Right.
You got some pieces. I will say that. They went out and got two big space eaters. They got two big space eaters in the middle in Javondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons.
Okay.
You got Arden Key and Harold Landry on the edge. They went out and got Kenneth Murray from the Chargers. They traded for Snead. He signed Awuzie and Jamal Adams for your secondary. So I actually almost wish Vrabel was still coaching this defense at least, because this particular defense has his toughness written all over it. It really does.
It does. Yes,
so
they do.
I still scratch my head at why they did it, but again, that's a whole nother conversation. Then there's offense. We're going to stop and start with Will Levis. I mean, let's just be real about it. Stop and start with him. Because they got 4 good receivers, 2 good running backs. They got a good tight end, an improved O-line. Like I said, they got the big man on campus and J.C. Latham. Go along with the guard. This I think it was his name is escaping right now. I see it, but I can't pronounce it. But yeah, the Peter, I can't remember his last name, but the guard from they drafted last year in the first round. So the question really is, Will Levis, is he the guy? What can Callahan get out of him in the first year as a head coach? The team to me goes as Will Levis goes. They could be a solid team, or they could be underachieving. It really just depends on the quarterback play. I think they're really paramount to what Anthony Richardson and Will Levis are going to be or not be will dictate how well they do in the season. That's really what it boils down to.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's where it goes and where it is. I just don't know exactly what Will Levis is or isn't at this moment, and he's changing offensive coordinators and play callers now and head coaches. So, we'll see. Can he pick it up, put it down, and do well? Will he be better off with offensive-minded head coach in his corner? Remains to be seen. Does he have the tools? Can he process properly? All those boxes you have to check in order to dictate whether the Titans are going to be any closer than 4th in this division at this moment. I think that's where it boils down to. For me. So when we look at the talent perspective, like I said, we kind of underscore what they have. I mean, they got a great receiving core. They probably go 4 deep pause in running back. Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, Hashan Reddick, Julius Chestnut. They got 3 solid quarterbacks. 2 guys that have been backups, and 1 guy is going to be a starter. Mason Rudolph is backup from Pittsburgh, and Malik Willis has been their backup for the last 3 years. The receiving core, Tyler Boyd, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Treylon Burke, Nick Westbrook, Akine. I mean, we're going 5 strong right there.
Yeah.
Jake Okonkwo, tight end. Peter Skoronski, that's what I was trying to figure out. Peter Skoronski, J.C. Latham, tackle. Only thing really I got questions about is their center and their guard on the right side. Nicholas Petrie Fury, who I talked about, is one of my sleepers. He should be supplanted there at right tackle. He should be good. So they got pieces. I think they can protect Will Levis pretty decently, and just whether or not they're going to be good on offense is the question. And that'll all rise on Will Levis' shoulders. Now the defense, kind of gets me, excited. When it comes out of guys or dudes they have. Because some people sleep on some of these names, but I think that they got a lot to offer here when it comes down to their defense. Like I said, we talked about Jeffrey Simmons, who's an absolute dog, Pro Bowler. We all got Javondre Sweat, who's a run-stopping behemoth. Keandre Coburn is another 330-pound guy. That's another run-stopping behemoth in the middle. So they're going to be really stout against the run if you play it right. Their pass rush, Harry Landry and Arden Key. The linebacker core is on really questions I really have, because again, Kenneth Murray's coming over from the Chargers. He's new. And they don't have any, they let Rashad Evans and a few other guys go over the years. So they don't have a household name there yet. But that's really the only question I really have at the moment from a linebacker perspective, because their secondary is really good. It's sneaky good. Because they got Jake Awuzie from the Bengals, Dallas and the Bengals, the last 2 years. Roger McCurry should be really good. He was a really good college player. I like him. Caleb Farley, who is finally healthy. the Jerry Sneed. I think they got 4 solid corners.
Right.
They got 4 solid corners, and Jamal Adams and Amani Hooker at safety. Not sure exactly what Elijah Moore is going to bring to the table just yet, but he's the only question mark for me in the secondary. But with 4 good corners, 2 good safeties, and in a stout D line, I think this should be fine. They should keep the points down. It's just a question of whether or not Will Levis can put any points up. So when you get down to it and talk about grade perspective, what do you give them as a grade? Huh? That's what you said, F. I was like, damn.
Oh, no. No, I didn't come out the gate shooting like that, but I do give them a D.
D. Okay. I give them a C+. I mean, because I like what they did with Jerry Sneed, Calvin Ridley. I do like what they did from spending a little bit of that money. I do like this. I gave him a C+.
Okay.
I like outside of like I said, what Will Levis is going to do and not going to do. I do believe that they got an improved O-line. They got a good set of weapons. I think they got a good defensive person, at least good defensively from a personnel perspective. Whether they can put it together or not is a question. But personnel wise, they're good. So I give them a C+.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, there you have it. That is our breakdown for the AFC South. We're going to do more of these segments leading up to the season in between our NFL Insider series. I do believe that we got the Out of Your Mind podcast guys coming next week to break down the Falcons. So we're probably going to do that next week. But after that, we're going to get back to it. So yeah, look out for more segments when it comes to the NFL divisional breakdown series that we do each and every summer on Sports Talk here with Coach and Kurt. So moving on. So I forgot about the question mark before we get here. So how far can Will Levis take the Titans? Let's answer that question before we move on.
He can take them on a long walk on a short street. No, he still has a lot more to develop. I mean, he showed flashes. He showed that, his arm, everybody knew his arm, but there's a lot more that goes into the quarterback position than just your right arm. And so I think he still has some development to do. And maybe next year or 2 more years after that, we'll really start to see that compound success kick in. But right now, it's too soon.
I got you. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with Will. I really am. I don't know if he's the guy, but I do believe this. I do believe that we're going to find out really quickly because he has all the tools in the tool bag to be successful. Right. And he has offensive-minded head coach. So if you can't get it done with all of that, I don't think you can. So we're going to find out really quickly, well, probably the first 8 to 9 games, whether or not Will Levis is going to be a competent quarterback in this league. Because you got all the pieces that you need. It is nothing that's holding you back from being successful.
True.
Okay. All right.